Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Recently I discovered that the drawing program that I use on my iPad, Procreate, has a built-in recording function, so I stumbled upon it and figured it'd be a fun idea to just do a little voiceover and sort of explain the creative processes that I do and follow these. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. So right off the bat, I know this is controversial, but I'm using someone else's drawing as a base. Normally I use another base. I have a 3D model app that I'll use, but every now and then, I'll look up something on Google and find a pose I really like and kind of spin it to my own. So right here, I'm doing the line art already. Since I don't have to worry about poses and such, I can really jump right into the clothes. So obviously I'm using this guy's cloak as a loose model, but I still like to think that I make these original in the sense that, they're different. It's not the exact same character, different hairstyles, different clothes, different color palettes and such. One thing that I wish that I would explore more is the use of different brushes. I kind of just use the default brush in Procreate. I think it's called like Fine Ink or something, but it's really good for solid lines, just clean cut lines. And I'm sort of in this in-between between anime and a cartoon style, comic style rather. So it doesn't really quite give off an anime effect, but I do rather enjoy the clean lines. Here I start to stray away more from the original piece and make my own joggers. So the inspiration for this piece was I was getting those ads on Instagram, for clothes and such, specifically tech wear. And I was getting tired of not being able to buy them myself, so I said screw it, I'll just draw something of my own and end up with this. Also, this character is a sort of a revamp, a redraw of an older character, and you'll see, boom, popped up just for now. His name is Lucriel, Lucanis, and I wouldn't say he's one of my first pieces, but definitely an older piece that's reminiscent of a more juvenile style. The character himself is kind of an asshole and kind of a minor character in the sort of headcanon I have of story, but I've always been fascinated by its design. Every iteration that I've had, whether it's just picturing him in my head or actually drawing, has always just been extremely purple to the point where it hurts. Extremely purple, and as you see here with the cane, the idea is he's sort of some pseudo demon magician guy with just a purple energy. But yeah, anyways, continue on with the actual drawing. Here I just get the flats down. There is a bit of a process when I put these colors down because I do use the autofill function, but on Procreate and I think other apps as well, there's always it's never precise. So you'll see after I get the flats down, there's a process in which I go down and fill in the blanks or the individual pixels basically between the color fill and the line art itself. So at this point I'm about to hop into the hair, and I don't really do anything too crazy with the hair. I just use a soft airbrush to get sort of the undertones and stuff. Sorry, I don't really know art language, but I already have an idea where the lighting source is going to come from. So as you see, bright on the left side, darker on the left side, shadows. The way I do my shading, at least at this time, it's a little bit different now, but I'll do a hard cell shading. I think that's the right term, hard cell shading, and then sort of blend it in with the soft airbrushes, given that I already know the light source. And so, as you see right now, one thing I like to do is I like to get the shading down first on things like the shirt. That way I can go in later and do the actual details of like the fabric folds and such. This middle part right here, you'll see gets really messed up because I had used a gradient really early on, and so there's kind of a hard cut right down towards the bottom of the shirt. That's gonna be there for the rest of the video until the end, until I decide to clean it up. But yeah, so I'm just going throughout, adding some more shading, some more details here and there. One thing I learned, which I didn't really utilize here, but when you do shading, depending on the color of your light source, it's better to use a different tone. So instead of just going for purple do like purple with a little bit of red or purple with a little bit of blue. I didn't utilize that here, but that is something that I utilize here and there. At this point, there isn't really much else to say because it'll just be more shading from now on. But yeah, the design of Lucriel is something that really intrigued me even early on. I had this idea of him being really sharp, angular, dare I say, edgy. So when I came across this photo, or the original piece, I think it really spoke to me because it has sort of like an air of arrogance to it, which I think is really fitting to his character. Speaking of which, he is a Englishman, and I just reused the background that I had for his old photo, which is perfect because they make the the UK flag in the background. I had also went on this sort of spree where I was making these theme songs for characters, so this last song that you're hearing is actually his theme song. It's heavily inspired by the show Peaky Blinders. If you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix, just had a 6th season. Absolutely banger of a show. So I think I did an okay job, I think, capturing the aesthetic and the tone with the drawing and the music itself for the characters. So hopefully that was a more immersive experience for you. But yeah, that's about it for the piece. I don't really claim to be a good artist, but it's nice to finally be able to bring these characters to life for once. If you've managed to make it this far in the video, I applaud and thank you. I'm pretty new to just sort of making content on YouTube right now, and I'm just exploring, seeing what feels right. And yeah, any feedback is appreciated. If you'd like me to cover more in detail the actual artistic aspects of these or the lore aspects of these characters, I'd be more than happy to accommodate. But until then, thanks for stopping by. Deuces.